Hello, welcome to episode 126 of Ring Takes here, as we're coming fresh off AEW WrestleDream, a big show for AEW. We'll get into that as the recap, and we'll get into some events on SmackDown and Raw as they're setting up to head to Saturday night's main event on November 1st. A couple matches are being booked, especially for their top titles in WWE, and we'll get into that as well. We're also joined by Sonny, the Eagleman Cain again this week, picking up on our weekly recap here this week, so get ready to join us.
One, two, oh my gosh, so close. He kicked out. He kicked out. He kicked.
Got it perfectly that time. Nice. All right. Here we are on episode 126 here. AEW WrestleDream coming off the fresh of that and setting up towards WWE's Saturday night's main event. Of course, Brian and Lewis are with me, but we're joined by Wrestling Spotlight's own Sonny Cain, Wrestling Analysis. Thank you for joining us again, Sonny, this week here on Raw. This is a different little pace for us going after Raw. Usually we have you after the PLEs, but we figured we'll bring you back again. So thank you for stopping by and joining us again, as always. But a whole bunch of wrestling happened this weekend. Let's get into it. AEW WrestleDream. Big show for AEW this past weekend. Very good show from what I saw. Brian and Lewis, you guys saw the majority of it. Is this a changing of the guard that's happening in AEW, especially with the last match there, with Darby Allin overcoming Jon Moxley? But overall, what did you guys think about the event in totality?
All right. So before we begin, I bet you the three of you guys and people who are watching this right now are asking, what's up with the I Matter hat? This isn't Brian versus the Dirt Sheets. What's up? Uh-oh. So I'm wearing the hat because this review of AEW requires the attitude that is brought on Brian versus the Dirt Sheets, because there was a lot of good stuff, but the majority of the show was kind of negative, especially the way it ended. Now you're asking, was this show a changing of the guard? I say absolutely not, especially after what I'm watching on this damn show was no fucking changing of the guard.
So basically what you're telling us is that hat wouldn't have been on if we would have recorded 30 minutes earlier.
The hat was always planning on the come out, especially after I saw the way the show ended. I always knew in the back of my mind, okay, now this review is going to require a little bit of attitude, the same attitude I bring when I'm attacking these dirt sheet reporters. Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about the show overall, like every AEW show, the in-ring quality, it's always great. It's always top notch. There was some great matches. However, the booking of some of these matches left a lot to be desired. If we're talking about the show overall, in my opinion. Now, changing of the guard, nah, absolutely not. Especially if we're talking about the main event of Darby and Moxley and what happened as a result of what I'm seeing on AEW Dynamite tonight. I really don't think that the story is over. It's not. It doesn't seem that way. Now,
wait. So you mean to tell me Sting's big return after his last match, we thought Sting was going away. Darby Allin was down and out over a fish tank. And that's not the changing of the guard. Like, I thought this was the moment for Darby Allin.
So just for me, I thought it was great that Sting came back, obviously, because obviously it's been Darby Allin himself fighting the damn Death Riders, which is still a freaking thing, and I'm sick of it. But my only issue with it was kind of the finish was a little wonky, but okay, now Darby's winning. You think, oh, maybe this will lead into him kind of getting maybe back into the title hunt, but obviously, according to Brian, I guess that's not. If we're getting another Mox Darby match, it's run its course. Like, what else are we doing at this point? Like, are we just gonna do another like blood and guts and like build a team? It's like there's just no. They've already beat each other to a bloody pulp too many times, and it's like, what new thing can you damn do? What, throw Darby off a damn building at this point? Like, come on. It needs to stop. We need new matchups. We need new rivalries. We need different stories at this point.
So basically, Brian, what happened on AEW Dynamite that's having you saying there's no changing of the guard? Let's get that out.
So Darby cut a promo in the middle of the ring talking about the match. I mean, it was pretty short and sweet, but the way he finished the promo had me thinking that this story isn't over. I mean, he pretty much said that, like, the Death Riders will always be there, and as long as they're there, Darby Allin won't be far behind. I don't know. Something about those words just has me thinking that they're going to continue this feud somehow. Like, they got Blood and Guts coming up in 2 or 3 weeks, so one would think that maybe not a one-on-one match, but somehow it's going to be the Death Riders against Team Darby with whoever he can put together.
Well, look who Moxley's facing. Well, I don't know if you saw it, but I saw that he was facing Kyle O'Reilly, which is part of the conglomerate. So I guarantee it's going to be all of them plus Darby versus the Death Riders and Blood and Guts. That's what I see.
That could be a possibility, or hopefully I'm 100% wrong, and that the Blood and Guts match ends up actually being the Don Callis family versus Kenny Omega and whoever he finds. I really hope I'm wrong and that this Death Rider storyline is over. But like I said, what I saw on Dynamite kind of triggered me into thinking that this story is continuing. And like Lewis has said, we've had enough of the Death Riders. You know, we've had.
You guys have. I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, so you're a fan. So you're the one creating this story to continue.
Go on and on and on.
Yeah, it's just. It seems like it's just going on and on and on, and there seems like there's no end in sight. But I mean, I thought I don't know what else they're going to do to each other. I mean, I guess Darby Allin can get thrown off the cage or something like that for Blood and Guts, but didn't they already do that to somebody?
Like I said, I really hope I can come on the next week's show and then say, like, okay, I was wrong. This story is over. I really hope we can get to that point, because like I said, I've had enough. And like I said, the main event left a lot to be desired. That's one of the main reasons why I'm just like, okay. We didn't have like a climatic ending that would suggest that the feud was done. Like I said, it was kind of a weak finish, in my opinion. Yeah. So, like I said, I just hope I'm wrong, and that really is the end. But we can get into the entire show.
What do we think about Adam Page defeating Samoa Joe, and then the surprise of the Ops turning on Heyman?
I thought that was going to kind of go that way, but you can't take anything away from Joe. Joe's been there a long time, and on any given night, he can flip the switch and make it happen. Joe's a big boy.
Yeah. I'm a big Samoa Joe fan. I've not gonna say always, but ever since he came to NXT, I mean, obviously I saw a little bit of what he did back in TNA, but I've been a big Joe fan, and the fact that he's still going at this age, which is practically, I don't even know if he's older or younger than AJ, but he's from that era and still going strong. I'm never mad with him going after the title, or even potentially getting another title reign, which he has in the last couple of years. But I also was not too surprised by this, because I'm like, Joe has always been a great heel, and he's always, I feel like he's done this but this like this type of work where he's like, all right, I'll have a great match with somebody, maybe I'll lose, but I'm not gonna sit here and shake hands with you. No, I'm coming for mine. I'm gonna get what I want, and I think it's great, and it's also leading this group in a different direction. I think they've kind of been baby faces for a while, but now with the name The Ops, that's literally like your rivals, your enemy. I think it suits them well, so I'm happy to see where this is gonna go.
Yeah, the one thing that I've always respected about Samoa Joe is that, like, his demeanor is so authentic and legit, and it doesn't matter if he's babyface or heel.
Exactly.
Like it's he's so authentic as a character, and he's a legit tough guy. That whether he's a babyface fighting good or he's a heel, like we saw on WrestleDream, that it's always good. Like he can pull off any characters well. similar to Sonny and Lewis. I actually kind of saw this coming as well. I mean, they kind of alluded to it during the promo segment that they had on Dynamite when him and Hangman went face to face. You knew that eventually that switch was going to be flipped, and he was going to go full heel. And obviously the ops, being with him and all. I mean, Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs, in my opinion, are natural heels anyway. More so Powerhouse Hobbs. So it does kind of fit. But as far as the actual match goes, I mean, it was a very good match. I mean, Hangman in ring wise, since he's been champion, hasn't really had any bad performances, and Samoa Joe was always very solid in the ring. So it made for a great combination, and it was a good match. I'm glad that it's not one and done, and that we're actually going to get some more story out of this. Samoa Joe, like I said, he can pull off babyface or heel very well. So you always look forward to his programs. So as long as they're booked well, sky's the limit.
Yeah, for sure. Samoa Joe is able to be a chameleon, right? He's able to do a lot of things well. Announcing, managing, coming back, fitting a role, any role. And it seems like AEW is calling on him once again to be in this main event title picture, especially for Hangman Page. After gaining the title after so long, to get back in that moment. This is a good program for him. I'm interested to see where this goes. And hopefully this gives a little bit more shine to Powerhouse Hobbs and the rest of the ops, because I feel like they can get the shine from this as well as Samoa Joe. I feel like Samoa Joe is kind of the placeholder. Maybe this can be an elevation for mainly Powerhouse Hobbs, and we can see what they can do.
Yeah, I want Hobbs to get back into that main event spot. He had that one little stint against, who did he face, Brian? Was it Moxley? Or was it
Warlow?
No, he fought somebody for the title. He fought.
Well, I know he lost the title to Swerve. I know Swerve beat him for the title. I know that. And I know
the world title. The world title.
Yeah, the world title. Yeah, Swerve beat him for the world title, and I know he beat MJF for the world title. But I'm trying to remember.
But Powerhouse hasn't won the world title, right?
No, he hasn't. No, he's had opportunities, but he hasn't won it.
Yeah, but who did he fight for when he had was it Swerve or was it MJF?
I think
it
may have been Swerve, because I do remember Powerhouse Hobbs winning a battle royal and ran contender, and I think it was Swerve he ended up facing.
Yeah. I'm and a lot of people are definitely in his corner, so I'm like, he's definitely somebody who I feel like is right there, and obviously he's no shy of a great physique, so it's in power, obviously, but even character-wise, I mean, he's got some range on him too, and I definitely want to see him back in that spot again.
It's give him that push that he needs right now, because he's one of the stars that you
can use.
Over the edge, He's one of the stars that you can use. We got Brodito retaining their tag team titles over the Don Callis family over Okada and Takeshita. What did you guys think about that match?
Well, Brodito as a tag team, I know when they first came together, I was kind of like a lot of the fans asking, what's the point of them being together? What's the connection? And now at this point, I've kind of ignored that now, because every tag team match that they've had since they came together has been a banger, and this match was no different. I'm looking forward to Takeshita and Okada finally going head to head, because both of those guys as individual in-ring technicians are the best of the best right now. Especially Takeshita. Takeshita is hot right now, especially after winning the IGWP title against Zack Sabre Jr. And Okada. They always recognize him as the best tournament wrestler of all time, and he never has bad performances either. So I'm looking forward to them clashing. But this tag team match was one of the better matches of the night. It really was. Those two teams, Bandito. Like I said, at first, I thought he was just another guy, another luchador that they're bringing in to Ring of Honor just to have a luchador. But now I've seen him a couple of times. Now you're realizing he is very, very good, and you can see why that Tony Khan put the Ring of Honor world title against him, even though that's kind of Ring of Honor is a good brand, in my opinion.
you can't take anything away from him. He's been there a while, and he's perfected his show every time he comes down to the ring. So anytime he's on the card, it'd be wise to bet with him.
Yeah, I think that's.
And I feel like that tag team is kind of one of those mismatched tag teams that we always hate. Like, hey, where's this going? What is this going? But they've been so consistent that's actually working and getting over. So they found a way to get over in their spot.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I actually really like about AEW is like they actually know how to use their damn luchadors because Bandito's been one who's been highlighted a lot. I mean, he had his matches for the Ring of Honor World Title, and I think who did he beat? Wasn't it Jericho for it? I thought it was
it was Jericho.
that little weird mishap, but in that match, but he's still a great performer. And then I think recently, what was the other one? I forget his name. The last PLE, something like Golden Mask. I don't know if you remember, Brian. That whatever that wrestler was, he was another great wrestler that just like, I feel like AEW handles very, very well and just let them like showcase what they can do. So, but Brodito, obviously a makeshift name, but definitely a great team, and they definitely work well. And yeah, that match was great. You're never going to get a bad performance out of Takeshita and Okada, and with them, it was just like gold.
What do we think about Mercedes Mone adding a belt 11 to her title reign?
I love it.
So this is what I wanted to talk about. This is what I wanted to talk about. So this main topic is actually another one of the reasons why I'm wearing this hat right now. This whole Mercedes thing. So to correct you, Daniel, it's now actually 12. All right.
Yep. Yeah, she did capture another belt, right? I can't
capture another WPW, the Winnipeg Women's Championship. She also captured. So now she is 12 belts, Monet, or Ultima Monet right now. Okay, so I wanted to ask all three of you guys because I've been obviously I've been on X, looking at a lot of the fans' response, and it's really been very mixed in regards to her winning all of these titles and breaking the TBS title record. So what do you guys think of her in general winning all of these titles?
I think it's amazing because one, who else is doing this, and who else has done this? Mind you, this many belts in this decade.
All right, let me stop you right there.
In this decade, this many belts, and mind you, and I already know where Dan's gonna go with this. Oh, no one's seeing these matches. No one's blah, blah. No one really cares. Nobody knows what these titles are. But it's like we already know AEW is the land of the indie stars and the land of collaborating with other promotions. And I think it's great that she is being allowed to go all over Europe, Mexico, Japan, US, wherever, and capture these titles. And the fact that these promotions are also in agreement that she's this good and, and that she's capturing these titles, one is bringing more eyes to their brand. And then two, it's undeniable that she's killing it right now. And honestly, this is what she's always wanted to do. This is mainly why she left WWE. So I think it's great. I think it's great character work.
All right. Sonny?
I think it's egg on WWE. They had her. They had Tony Storm, and they let them both go. And Storm's been tearing it up too. But Mercedes Mone, I'll go on record and say I'm part black, so for her culture and her background, she's making history today by capturing all these titles and saying, hey, you can't overcome your background and your culture and excel at what you want to do. I think she's a positive role model for fans far and near. And my main man, Gerald Bentley, Dan, actually, when he crossed the pond last year, got to meet Mercedes Mone and asked her a question at an interview conference. So I thought that was pretty neat that he saved his question for her specifically. But I don't think we'll ever see another Mercedes Mone. She's got it all together. I told Joe at the very beginning of when I started watching her, I thought she'd go a long ways. I did not imagine her going this far, but she's a trailblazer, and she'll be in the Hall of Fame one day for certain. I think WWE is gasping for breath now because they let her go when they had her actually in their camp, and that's how it goes sometimes. So I think she'll be there for a good minute.
This is how I feel about this, and I know I've said this. If she wins a belt somewhere else, does anyone really care? She's the interim. She's the interim. Wait, she's the interim ROH champion right now, right? That's the 12th belt, right?
Yeah, the interim.
And I understand.
Yes,
and I understand that wrestlers with her prestige, kind of like in the old days, you go to these territories and you bring in, you help a new person that comes in or whatever the case may be. But again, this is the thing that I said. When she wins all these belts, is she going to lose each one of these belts back to those territories?
That's what I'm scratching my head.
If the answer is no, what does that do for those companies?
Well, I think the answer to that question is yes. I think it do eventually. The time is going to come where she is going to lose all these titles. I mean, she's not going to hold on to all of them forever.
Yeah,
right. She's going to lose. She's going to lose. So I think we're all kind of thinking that she's going to win the AEW Women's World Title, right?
I'm hoping and praying that's not the case. And
So now you're going to turn around and have her win all these belts to lose the AEW Women's World Title, which she already lost to against Toni Storm.
But this is also right now. This is the question. Won the title.
These are the questions that I had. I understand that, but these are the questions that I have. She already lost to Toni Storm already. So now she's going to go up against Chris Statlander while she has 12 other titles and lose. And then turn around and then lose each one of these belts?
Well, maybe she won't lose clean. Maybe it'll be like interference.
They could easily tell the story of the loss against Chris Statlander just starts a downfall, but then she's losing every title until she finally ends up back just being TBS champion again.
I know that actually could be the smart play where it goes her losing the titles, but then it leads to her coming back.
A little bit like it's a little bit like the Hardys in a way, because the Hardys went and captured like 4 tag team titles from 4 different companies all at one time. So how's that going to work? And the Hardys are still TNA champions. They still have belts from prior to that. So.
But again, this is a woman who has. First of all, I think she's going to get 13 belts. That's what I think they're going to go.
What's the record? What's the Ultimate Dragon record?
I think it's like.
I think
it's 11. I think it's 11.
I think it was at 11, right?
Yeah. So she's already passed that. So she's going to go for 13. Lucky number 13. I think she's going to get it. But this is my thing. If she relinquishes those titles? What does that do for all these other companies? Hey, you're not good enough to beat her, so here's the title back. I guess they can have a tournament for it. I guess that's the prestige of it. You had someone the prestigious of the level of Mercedes Mone holding that title.
Wait, are you saying she's going to just relinquish all those titles?
Because this is my point. Because you're going to have her lose 13 titles. That's my point in all this.
Well, again, according to you, no one's going to see half of these matches. Okay, so maybe they won't even highlight it.
Let me just rattle off. Let me just rattle off the titles that she has. She has the TBS Championship. She has the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Championship. She has the Queen of the Southside Championship. She has the Owen House Foundation Tournament Cup winner. She has that. She's the CMML Women's World Champion, which I mean they have a relationship with, so we already understand that. The EWA Women's Champion. Has anybody heard of anybody that came from there?
So I looked at a lot of these
Wrestling Champion, which we've heard of.
Yeah, a lot of these
Bestia Women's Champion, Discovery Women's Scottish Champion, Body Slam Women's Champion, interim ROH Champion, Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. She's gonna go back to all these places and lose the belts.
Here's the thing. Like all those promotions that these promotions that you just named, like 90% of them, they're all overseas promotions.
Yeah.
So granted, you may look at it, us as the American fans, we may look at it and say, well, who cares about all these other promotions? But these countries that watch AEW give a shit.
No disrespect to those promotions, because every territory, they've earned the right to respect, to run their promotion how they want it to. What I'm saying is kind of similar. This is like because we've seen it before in wrestling. I think Austin Aries did it in TNA where he won all the titles. Kurt Angle did it when he won IGWP championships and TNA titles. I'm trying to think of somebody else who did it.
But even look at FTR though. FTR had like 4 belts at one point.
That's
fine. AEW,
but that's fine. 4 is manageable. But then you have 12 of these titles, and I think they're going to give her 13. What is the end game with that?
You act like whoever any champion isn't ever going to lose their reign, you know? Like, obviously,
that's not the point. That's not the point. I expect her to lose at some point.
So, is it more so that it's going to be 12 or 13 losses? Is that just the issue?
Yes.
Just picture this. What if she has like one match against somebody where that person says, "I want all of your titles," and then she just loses 13 titles in one match, and then that one person who's the winner then decides, "Okay, I'm not going to be like her, holding all these titles and holding these companies."
What does that do for all those other promotions?
Because by that
okay, let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. This is like when Kenny Omega went down to TNA, won all their titles, and then just left. What did that do for TNA?
Well, wasn't he injured though?
No, he beat Rich Swann. He won like all their titles.
Well, that was just a very shitty partnership between TNA and AEW. If we're going to be realistic,
that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What is this doing if she loses? First of all, a person losing 13 belts in a row is crazy. That's insane. That's my biggest holdup with this thing. I understand what they're doing. I understand what she's doing. She's going to all these other promotions, wrestling all over the world. That's cool. I understand that. But the end game for this, for me, just doesn't make sense. Is she having better matches? Yes. That's the one thing I could say over this. People have been liking her in-ring work better.
Yeah, I mean, look at what we said her from. Remember her debut, and we were all like, you know,
what is this?
You know,
she's turned it around. Okay, I'm fine with the wrestling aspect, but I'm just talking about the logic and psychology of it, of her winning all these belts.
I don't think if it gets to the point where she's losing all these titles, I don't think it affects her character, because I'm sorry, every person who wins a title will eventually lose their title. I think they have to be smart in the way that it happens. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if they go on another tour and whatever, she either goes off AEW for a bit and then has these tours to go back to all these promotions. But if it's like, boom, lose, like that's gonna. I understand that being a bad look.
See, I don't think they would do it that way though. I don't think she would have like 4 or 5 matches like within like a given like 2 weeks and then lose all 5 matches. I think like it would be like periodically over time that like she'll lose a title and maybe a month goes by, then maybe she'll lose another title. Like they could have a storyline set up where literally she doesn't win the AEW women's title and then it starts affecting her game so much that then when she goes to these other promotions to defend their title, then she'll lose one.
I'm just saying, I don't think that.
One.
I just don't think that's.
If these other promotions were smart, you could literally have her defend each of those titles on AEW, and that would bring even more eyes to those promotions.
I understand that point. What are the chances of that happening?
I'm just saying it's good for the relationship of the wrestling business, you know.
I'm just saying, I don't know what the end game is. I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to get out of it. But it's just like, to me, I think they're going to get her, let her get 13. I think that's the smart thing to do. If you went this far with it, and I guess I can see where she can lose the titles and be like kind of like the female version of the Young Bucks right now.
Yeah.
At
the end of the day, everybody's going to end up losing their title at some point. Yeah, she has a shit ton of titles right now, and even if she goes on like a losing streak, at the end of the day, she had won all those titles in one standing. It's still a magnificent feat in itself, you know? It's literally like Roman Reigns literally holding the title for 4 years. When's the last time we ever saw that in the past like 20 years? Yeah. You know, when's the last time we saw somebody actually hold 12 belts?
Yeah. So the reason why I asked the question is because it was really about, because like you said, Daniel, that she's now, as a result of WrestleDream, now it's official. She's going to be facing Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's title. And for the life of me, I'm just hoping and praying that Chris Statlander retains the title.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you why. Because like you said, Daniel, she's already won 12 belts, and you're thinking now she's going after like the big title, the main title, AEW Women's title. It makes no sense for her to then lose already accomplishing what she's accomplished and winning 12 belts. But at the same time, if you have Chris Statlander lose, then it's going to go to the fucking point that I've been making for the longest time, that a lot of people have been making about AEW's women's division. You got Toni Storm, you got Mercedes, and then you got literally got everybody else. You're literally going to kill your whole division if you have Chris Statlander lose within 2 months.
And,
like you booked them.
Brian, I'm sorry to break it to you. And guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? It's going to happen. They're going to make her beat Chris Statlander.
You're gonna kill your women's division if you have her win the women's title at this point. And if that was the case, then you should have had her beat Toni Storm at All In. Then
exactly.
Like that's what should have happened. Now,
all right.
That's the only reason why I'm saying like they're booking themselves into a corner with this, because Chris Statlander, it was a surprise to see her win the title. Yeah. But it was a great surprise. You know, she's a former TBS champion. She's one of their top women on the program. Even though her character has been inconsistent, she still has great performances. And when the booking is right and they do decide, okay, she's a babyface, okay, she's a heel, she always does deliver. The problem is they just flip-flop her so damn much that you don't know what her character is. But when they settle on it, it's good. So I don't want her to lose the AEW Women's title. First of all, she just won it. Number one.
Yeah.
And like I said, that moment was such a surprise that I don't want it to be diminished.
We don't need it to be a Zelina Vega US title win.
literally, we really don't need that.
Brian, that's what I'm telling you. Brian, that's what I'm telling you is going to happen. They're going to crush the
They can't do that.
Let's think this logically. She lost to Toni Storm at Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to turn around and lose to Chris Statlander and go 0-2 in those categories.
She's not losing clean. She's not losing clean.
That would be better than her winning the title, in my opinion. You can, because you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna hurt your women's division is already set up as such that you got these two powerhouse women and everybody else.
Brian, we have argued on the show for a while. When have they cared about that?
It's that's the problem.
So again, I just want to get the psychology that you guys are going with here. You're gonna let a person who came into your women's division from a bigger place go on this run with a secondary title, win 12 belts, and then lose another opportunity?
That's why I said them booking this match is them booking themselves into a corner, because realistically, no matter which way you go,
she's not losing that match clean. She is not losing. It's either going to be a disqualification or someone's going to cost her the win. That it has to go that way.
They're going to cost Mercedes Mone.
I see either Toni Storm coming out to mess it up, to then make it like a triple threat or whatever, or somebody,
isn't she going to a tag
or-
team? Isn't she going into a tag team with Mina Shirakawa now?
We don't know yet.
Nah,
But-
Lewis. That's exactly what they're going. I thought I was the only one that caught that, but that's exactly.
No, I saw it. I saw it.
So again, I'm just so
But
let's
again-
just kind of
What
But
Dan?
again, going back to the women's division, this is okay. If Tony Storm's not going to be a part of it, this is where you can throw somebody else to screw Mercedes, and that's how you build another star. Whether it's Willow, whether it's what's her face? She used to be with Brody King and whatever. Not Mariah May. What the hell was it? Julia Hart. You know, whoever. You know,
I'm just gonna say this again. You guys are gonna let a person win 12 belts and lose another opportunity at the title that she's been chasing.
but you
since
say
she's came
you
into
say
the-
lose another, like she hasn't been winning though. She's been winning.
Lewis, I'm just gonna say this again.
She's winning nonstop. Yes, at
to
some
save
point,
time.
at some
To
point she's gonna
I
lose.
got you, Dan. I'm listening.
I'm just saying this is what I'm talking about because she was already winning when she was going to All In Dallas.
But
She was
again,
already winning.
all she has been doing is winning though.
Who has she beaten that matters?
Their entire fucking women's division right now.
Exactly.
You just said the women's division is only 2 people and then everybody else. It doesn't matter.
That's the reason why it's like that right now. That's why the women's division is trash because literally you book these 2 women so damn strong that the rest of the division doesn't have a chance. And now you want to add Chris Statlander to that list to continue with these 2 powerhouses just dominating everybody.
Yes, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Oh my goodness! I'm just saying.
So if Mercedes does win, you know that means that there's literally nobody in the division right now that has any chance of beating her. Then they haven't booked up anybody. Now I hope.
That can be
there's
this
nobody right now.
I think that's the better story of her winning 13 and her having all this power, and then somebody coming in trying to beat her. The chase is better than the grab and defending and stuff like that. I feel like that's what her role is going to be.
Okay. But sometimes I've seen this sometimes in WWE, like whenever you have like a dominant champion, you always have like those one or two or three guys that like that like are coming, so to say. So it's like that like, okay, this person just keeps getting built up. Now that when they eventually face the champion, they have a chance. They haven't done that with anybody in AEW's women's division.
Maybe it's
that's going to be that.
Maybe it's those 12 other women who want to get their belts back.
I have an idea.
I don't know. But let's for the sake of time here, let's run through the rest of this.
Right.
Chris Statlander retains over Tony Storm. So Chris Statlander, not a paper champion. Tony Storm
she got a clean win.
Well, according to you, in a month she's gonna be.
Hey, I don't make the rules.
You also don't watch the program as well.
I see enough. Hey, I know if a person wins 12 belts and they're about to feed her a 13th. I know a paper champion, and I know the reason why they just took the belt off Tony Storm and didn't have Mercedes Mone beat her.
See, and again,
reason why they busy
because she was busy.
Yeah, exactly. And again, they made it so freaking obvious on the show that like, okay, this is your team. As soon as they embraced each other, I'm like, okay, there go your first AEW Women's Tag Team Champions right there. And again, keep Tony and Mercedes on top. Keep everybody below.
Just another belt for Mercedes Mone to get. Just another belt for Mercedes Mone to get. Let's keep moving on. Kyle Fletcher ends the reign, the baby face run of Mark Briscoe trying to get a title in AEW. That's sad because I thought he was going to get it, right?
So I believe they're going to run it back. I saw in the background that apparently they did have a promo segment in the ring on Dynamite tonight. So I think they're going to have another match. But that match that they had was also very good too. Kyle Fletcher again, like I've said before, you can put him in the same category as the Will Ospreays and Swerves of the world, where it's like now like when you see Kyle Fletcher, you're gonna get a banger match now. Like since that feud he had with Will Ospreay, like he just keeps getting better and better. And now every time I see Kyle Fletcher now, I'm looking forward to it because he's good, especially as being as young as he is too in his mid 20s.
I'm gonna say the same. And honestly, after this Joe feud, that Kyle needs to lose that title and he needs to go after the main title. I think him versus Hangman would be great. Maybe not rush into it, but
that's the problem. They rushed into it initially when he got that first title match. Like it was way too soon. Like they should have just kept building him up with the TNT.
Kyle Fletcher versus
Hangman. Yeah, it was a good match, but it was way too soon. Like you knew he wasn't ready, and you wanted to see him continue the momentum with the TNT title before eventually dropping it and then moving up the ranks. Like they rushed it too fast, and it was a great match, but it's like, come on, let's actually see let's see a story, let's see the progression, let's see him rise through the ranks first, and then when he gets that world title match, it means more. They just rushed right through it just to get a good 40-minute match.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, go ahead, Lewis.
No, just that match with him and Mark Briscoe was amazing. And I don't know how he does it, but that damn brain buckle buster.
Yeah, I saw that.
That thing is so damn dangerous. I'm like, I don't know how the hell you guys pull moves off like that off, but
that's the Sami Zayn El Generico move right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was
exactly. I think that's a youthful move because I think anybody in their later age will not be trying that.
I mean, Mark Briscoe taking that move is crazy enough. So
and he sold it so well. Him bouncing off the damn mat and everything. I was like, yo, you are a master of taking bumps.
Let's keep it moving. The Hurt Syndicate defeated the Demand, Ricochet, and the Bishop Khan and Toa Loa. They become the number one contenders for the Trios Championship, kind of putting an end to Ricochet's reign of terror, I guess you can say.
No, that's not
no.
Nothing was over.
So I might as well say the spoiler. So they kicked off Dynamite tonight with the Trios Championship match, and obviously the Hurt Syndicate lost because Ricochet got involved. So the story is continuing.
It's going to be
what's going to happen.
It's going to be a triple trios match.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're booking this so wrong. First, they had a regular trios match. Then they had a street fight trios match. Then they had a tornado trios match. And you thought that 3 matches, that was it. But now Ricochet getting involved means there's going to be a 4th one. So what the hell is it going to be now?
Yeah.
You already did a street fight. So what else are you going to do? Cage?
We got Jurassic Express defeating the Young Bucks with $500K on the line.
That was a great match.
Continuing the Young Bucks doom and gloom storyline. So that's continuing. Jamie Hayter defeated Thekla. So we got that matchup going.
Thekla.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Thekla. Defeating her.
Now, as far as Thekla goes, as far as somebody, whereas like if Mercedes does win number 13, and you need someone for her to beat Mercedes, it should be Thekla, honestly. Because really, since she's been, she really has been one of the better women that they've had. Even though she hasn't been booked as strong as she should be, at least she has some sort of momentum right now, being a fresh character. But like I said, the rest of the women's division is.
I'm just gonna ask you again, Brian. Not one of the 12 other women who need their belts back should beat Mercedes. I'm just gonna keep bringing that up, Brian. Yep.
I have a thought about that. There's a 30-day title defense clause. If she doesn't defend each belt within 30 days, she could drop it that way.
I mean, that's a way that they can do it, but
they can easily just have all the GMs.
Back in the day, he lost his title that way.
Yeah. There's a couple.
They can really just have all the GMs show up on screen one day and say, like, "Yeah, you haven't defended the titles in so long, so we're taking these shits back."
And just take them off her.
Yeah, literally every time.
And she's throwing a temper tantrum. I'm
yeah, like
But that will do it for our AEW WrestleDream. A lot of action there. I'm still mad over the 12 belts for Mercedes Mone. These guys aren't, but we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with Darby Allin and the Death Riders as that continues, as well as Hangman Page versus the Ops. We'll get back.
Okay, Daniel. Let me ask you a very stupid question about Mercedes. Now, if she was in WWE and she was doing this, would you feel the same way?
Yes, because I think it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I think it just doesn't make sense. Now, this is the difference. This is the difference where it was different with Roman Reigns. He at least won the belts underneath the same company. So if Mercedes sat there and won the Raws, Women's Smack, kind of like Becky Lynch, you won the SmackDown's championship, you won the Raw championship, and then you won the NXT championship, it would make a little bit more sense because there's a little bit more territory to cover. That's the thing. At least that's underneath one roof. I can understand that. I'm fine with that. But all these overseas to the point where it's 12 other promotions.
Technically. Well,
or Charlotte Flair going back and forth.
Technically 11.
Technically 11.
Technically 11, but still, that's a lot. That's just a lot. But let's keep moving the ball here. Let's get into a bit of SmackDown action. SmackDown picking it back up this week. We had a lot of stuff going on there, especially with the match between that was supposed to be. I got this going. That was supposed to be Drew McIntyre versus. Why can't I get this right? Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu to determine the number one contender to face Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, Jacob Fatu got taken out. It's reported that he has an injury that's going to take him out at least until next year, which is very unfortunate because he's been on a roll and everyone's kind of been wanting to see him step up in this role and be a main eventer and have all these moments. And unfortunately, that's been placed on the back holder due to injury. So that's unfortunate. But we are getting Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event. They had an impromptu match on SmackDown after Jacob was taken out. And Cody Rhodes basically got disqualified, hitting Drew McIntyre with the title. But what did you guys think about that whole situation? First on Jacob Fatu's injury and the potential setup for Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre.
I thought the injury was off the hook. I thought Cody Rhodes came out and really presented himself as the fighting champion that he spent the whole time trying to tell the title. I think his dad would have been really proud of that and the fact that he don't back down from anybody. And he's just a world of difference between he and his brother, the Natural. They are from the same man, but they're two entirely different people. Cody Rhodes will go against anybody anytime and do his thing, and the Natural spent years trying to get into the mainstream. So, not taking anything away from either of them, I was very impressed with Cody. And I don't know about y'all, but I'd like to see Drew McIntyre win somewhere. He just comes out week after week and he's a ragdoll.
And Sonny, that's exactly where I was going with my take. I'm at the point right now where it's like I'm wondering if Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes was going to be the plan, and then they just had to pivot because of Jacob's injury. But if this is what the direction that they're going in right now, we talk about this all the time about Drew being a loser. Like there has to come a time, a place, and a day where finally he wins a world title and actually has a reign that's longer than the fucking 5 minutes to 30 seconds. Like in an alternate reality, Drew McIntyre should be a world champion. Yeah. And we keep hoping for it, we keep praying for it, but then we see how WWE books him, and it looks like it's going to be another Cody Rhodes victory. But
no, I think this should be a moment where they give him the win, because it was reported that Cody wanted to drop the title to him
at WrestlePalooza. Yeah,
at WrestlePalooza, and they should have, and they didn't do it. Even Orton said, "Hey, let's put the title on him," and they said no. This is a chance to actually number one, make Saturday night's main event memorable.
For once.
I think this is an opportunity to do that. And I think Drew needs it. Even if it's for 2 months or 3 months or whatever the case may be, give him something.
Yeah.
He's been putting on a good match. after good match, putting guys over. Give him something. Throw him a bone.
He wants more than the Rock's sword.
And that's what he was doing that led to the Cody Rhodes involvement. He was out there taking a stand saying, I don't understand any of this. And out the gate came Cody. So I think it was Thursday night's main event for sure, a title change. So,
okay, hopefully.
So I saw on SmackDown.
Cody, I'm all for Cody, but Drew's earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying, I saw on SmackDown when Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes had their backstage segment. If you see in the background, Randy Orton was in the background. And I don't know if anybody noticed it, but I saw a photo on social media that Randy Orton was actually in the background, which some people are going to allude to that he's the one that attacked Jacob Fatu. Now, if the plan is for Drew to win the title, would you prefer that he beat Cody straight up or that Randy Orton get involved and finally we get the heel turn?
I think he needs a clean win.
I think he's proven himself week in and week out all year long. He's lost everything he could lose, and I think he's deserving of a straight win.
How about this? I want Drew McIntyre to win. That's number one. Number two, maybe his next challenger is Randy Orton. And we get Drew versus Orton for the title. And then that sets up probably in motion Cody versus Orton down the line, where Cody's chasing for the title, and Cody betrays his teacher.
Like screws him out of the title?
Yes, like he cheats to win or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's something that everyone's kind of been saying, hey, we want heel Randy. We want to see heel Randy on that side of things. But would a babyface Orton in that turn, with Cody turning on him, be a better story?
Well, that's been
different.
Kind of led into all year long in various points throughout the year of Cody returning heel. And then Seth Rollins came out and they had a real man up talk about the possibility of him turning heel. And at the end, nobody jumped Cody. They all kind of gave him the high five on his way out the gate. So, it was a breath of fresh air to see two men of that caliber stand there and have an actual conversation without attacking each other. So it brought sports back, in my opinion, and that's something that's been lacking a little bit. They get too mismatched in their matchups occasionally to suit me, but that was a turning point moment, and I think it's going to be Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes teaming up here eventually.
At some point, maybe I can see that. Hopefully, Seth gets back from injury. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but on the Cody Rhodes thing, I just think there needs to be a change here especially with Drew. Again, I think we all feel for Drew because it's just like, yo, what does he have to do to get a win? Yeah. That's the main thing. I was like, what does he have to do? Jacob Fatu
toss up between Drew and Sami Zayn, and Zayn finally got a title, and even though he lost, hats off to him for 5-6 weeks in a row. He had complete open challenges to whoever, and that makes him a fighting champion, in my opinion. So I think he's still like in a battle and a dangerous battle for the world title.
I think we're going to get into that in a second, and I just think those two guys deserve a win right now in terms of a main event scene or something like that. Like, they deserve it. But let's keep moving on here. Now that we brought up the United States title, we got Ilya Dragunov returning.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, just as an aside, Sammy's moment is coming. Like I said, WrestleMania is coming to Saudi Arabia, so Sammy's moment is coming.
We got Ilya Dragunov returning after injury for so long, returning to win the United States challenge, the United States title after answering Sami Zayn's open challenge. And this was a lovely surprise. Ilya Dragunov coming back jacked with a new tattoo.
Yes, man. Put on that muscle.
And instantly put on a classic with Sami Zayn. What did you guys think about this matchup?
This, man, like I said, we've all been fans of Ilya Dragunov before his injury. When he was in NXT having those matches, and we were just waiting for him to finally come to the main roster, and it was just unfortunate that he got hurt. But now that he's back, like you said, Daniel, he's jacked, he's got tattoos, he's got a better look now. Still moves the same way that he does, still aggressive the way that he does, still sells the way that he does. Still a great character work to make you think that he loves pain like he does. Like this was a great match. It was a great decision. I saw a report that apparently Sami Zayn was the one that pushed for Dragunov to win. And if that is the case, that was really smart thinking by him, because, like I said, Ilya Dragunov coming back and winning the U.S. title, like there's going to be probably so much that they do with him right now. They're probably going to use similar to what Obafemi did when he won the North American title, to use that title to kind of like build them up, have multiple title defenses, have great programs. I mean, me personally, I would love for him to continue the United States Open Challenge because he's so great in the ring that he can have banger matches every single week. But I love the decision, and glad that he's back.
I had a brace on.
Yeah, he
did.
Yeah.
On his leg, yeah. Everyone noticed that but me, but he had the big time brace on and still got it. So that was cool.
Yeah. And just the Open Challenge thing, it just opens up so much. I feel like, number one, this is a good play for SmackDown going forward to have this Open Challenge, because now it's the random. Like, you can get somebody who hasn't had an opportunity in a while. You can get somebody that's a young and upcomer. I would love to see Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes again. That happened in NXT. Would love to happen for this United States title matchup, Open Challenge that's coming up. So hopefully they continue to do that, and hopefully we can get some real stories continuing with the United States title. Sami Zayn saying to drop the title to Ilya Dragunov, major kudos to him, because he's been having banger after banger. He had a match with Shinsuke, Carmelo Hayes. Like, he's been doing this week after week after week for such a short period of time, but leaving a lasting impact. And I hope this sets him into a trajectory to the main event title scene at some point, hopefully very, 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 very soon. With Sami Zayn. As for Ilya Dragunov, glad to see him back. He was jacked. The tattoo was crazy. Like, I'm like, what is that? But it was a different look for him.
This not, Dan, but years ago, Ric Flair did open world heavyweight challenges, title challenges before he and the Horsemen teamed up and got together. There were times that Flair would stand totally on his own and do his own thing, and that's why I got my respect for him. And I'm pure shook meeting him in person. So the very first time, and he calmed me down and said, "I'm just a guy like you. I work at this for a living." And we all went out to eat, his mom and I, and he just blended into scenery. I mean, he's a regular guy away from it. So,
and I think that's a good thing with the Open Challenges. I think that's a good thing with the Open Challenges, because John Cena did it when he had the United States. Maybe it's just something with the United States title, huh?
But John Cena did it with the IC Open Challenge.
Yeah, it's never been the IC title.
Siobhan Evans getting a shot at the Open Challenge from NXT. Siobhan's somebody to behold, gentlemen. He's a serious player. He's not a lot to look at physically right now, but he'll improve on that over time, and he's got the exposure to the big time now from Sami Zayn. So
for sure, and that's the way you create a star. And I've said this in the chat. I hope that they have Tyler Bate come up. I hope that they have Pete Dunne come up and challenge for that title at some point, because it's like those guys are underutilized as well. So hopefully this is a renaissance for those guys from NXT.
Those guys are wearing lucha masks right now. Yeah,
kill that gimmick. Kill that gimmick. Anybody else?
They were on NXT this past Tuesday scouting out the speed tournament because Grande Americano was the speed champion. And literally, you can literally if you look into their eyes, you can tell it's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Like, seriously. And it's just like, again, we got 3 Europeans portraying Mexican luchadors, man. What are we doing?
Why are they doing this?
There's no reason why El Grande needs a damn action.
A quick check. On Unreal, Triple H actually said he had calls every day from younger talent wanting to be worked into the system, and now he finally had places to put them. He said he could put them in NXT, he could put them on SmackDown, Raw, and ESPN. So younger bucks are coming. It's just a matter of getting them to the main roster.
And it's gonna be in a luchador mask, apparently.
That'll be fine too.
I hate
Any way to get in the door, right? But let's keep moving on. We had other notes from SmackDown. We had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defeating Sol Ruka and Zarya with the help from Blake Monroe. And had the MFT to basically squaring off with the Wyatt Six. So maybe we're getting some War Games action between those two teams.
No. I don't want that to be a War Games match, bro. Because not enough time. There's not enough time to build it up, bro. Like now, if they've been doing this for like 6 months, and then we get War Games, okay. But the fact that this just started and you're only gonna get like a month out of it, it's just like this is not personal enough to be.
We've been asking for better builds. A month is a long time compared to in the eyes of WWE now. A month is a long time, Brian. Sorry to burst it to you, but
I guess so.
Those are all the notes from SmackDown. Let's move on to the Raw side of things, where Paul Heyman and the Vision explained their betrayal of Seth Rollins. What did you guys think about that? Braun Breaker actually holding the title. But what did you guys make of Paul Heyman explaining why they betrayed Seth Rollins?
I mean,
I thought it was a reasonable move. I think Paul Heyman will attach himself to anybody that looks doable. That's how he made his money. He's not he unashamedly admits that to Seth Rollins' wife, Becky Lynch, and says, these people all come to me and listen to me, and this is what happened. And Becky talked tough, but Becky listened to Paul. So, he's got staying power as far as his name and legacy. But I think the betrayal sucked. I was impressed by Seth when he did walk out, finding the guys and said he didn't need Paul. He didn't need Braun Breaker. And I thought, man, this is going bad for you. And sure enough, it did. And I don't think he's faking his injury this time. The boots look pretty spot on to me. So.
Paul Heyman's the best talker in the business. He's able to just put it on any which way. And I think it's smart that they're actually trying to push. Hopefully this continues. I hope they don't add a new leader. And I kind of want these guys to stand on their own with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I hope they really continue to push these guys in the right direction with Paul Heyman behind them. I think that's the smart move, rather than trying to, maybe we get an Austin Theory edition, maybe.
Yes, please.
But as we continue with these young guys, I want them to continue to push these young guys. Don't pair Jey Uso or Roman Reigns or any of the guys on Raw right now with those guys as the leader. Don't do that. Push these two guys as the leaders of this tandem, and I hope they continue to do that.
With me amazed at how they have put a rocket onto Braun Breaker and just let him fly. I mean, from the time he walked in at a mid-card level spot to boom, now it's just unreal that he skyrocketed this fast and still appears to be going nowhere but up.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep going up. There's no downside to him.
So did they feel like he wasn't ready? Did they feel like he wasn't ready? Because I was surprised that him and Bronson Reed weren't in the Battle Royal, because initially I'm thinking, okay, set this down. They're gonna have this Battle Royal, just have Braun Breaker win and have Braun Breaker and Punk and kind of keep this story going. So the fact that they pivoted and went with Jay, that was very, very surprising, because a lot of fans were saying, Braun Breaker is ready for that spot. So I wonder if they're just thinking that like he's not there yet. Or
I think they're trying to continue to tell that story of those guys being thorns in everyone's side. Because obviously we can get into it now with the Battle Royal. We also have Jey Uso winning the Battle Royal on Monday Night Raw, outlasting a bunch of other guys to win that opportunity to face CM Punk at Saturday night's main event. I don't think that they don't think Braun Breaker's ready. I think they're just taking a slow burn with his ascent in terms of winning the title. Yeah. And I think they're trying. Yeah, I feel like they're trying to figure out a way to pull in Roman and Jay's story, probably try to tie up that story as well in this title pursuit, because that's pretty much what it is now. Everyone's going after the title. Jey Uso. You know, Roman's always going to be lurking at some point to get back in the title picture. CM Punk's been chasing that title since he's been screwed at SummerSlam. And I feel like this is just a way to continue that story because I don't think Braun Breaker has shown anything that he's not ready. I think they're just trying to put the story with it. So whenever he does win or whatever he does get that opportunity, it means more. I think that's what they're going for.
I think he also needs to cut more promos because I want to say the past couple months, it's all been Paul speaking. Like he's had like a little, he'll make his little comments here and there, but he hasn't had cut like a full promo. You know, like I think the last one was probably against Roman, probably. And even that one wasn't that long. Just like, you know, you're old news. I'm the new dog in the yard. Blah blah blah. But it's like we need to. Yes, we know he can go. Yes, we know he's strong. But it's like we also need to hear him as a character speak. And also with this promo, I think it was too standard. Where it's like, oh, here comes Paul. Going to give his whole, thing. Exactly. And it's like, Braun's the one who initiated this, and you kind of didn't even think that it was going to happen at that moment.
I think,
so it's like, it should have been him kind of taking the lead. Like, listen,
I think they are positioning him in that role because one, they have Paul now taking orders from him. Bronson Reed's taking orders from him. Even Adam Pearce, when he said he asked for the title back, he told him to say please. He forced Adam Pearce to say please. Like there's a little bit of a little kind of laying the foundation of the leader of what Braun Breaker can be as an evil leader. I think that's what they're kind of leading it to. So but what do we think about Jey Uso winning that battle royal and setting up for facing CM Punk at Saturday night's main event?
I
wanted a tournament. That's what I wanted. I wanted a tournament.
Tournament would have been better.
Right now, I think this is finally gonna lead to a Jey Uso heel turn now. Like if they're gonna pivot now, you might as well just have him cheat to beat CM Punk and take the world title, and then you can continue the story with him and Roman. Essentially, with Roman, look what you created now, and then Roman eventually has to face him. I mean, at least that's where I think it's going. But apparently, if you look at the YouTube video of Jey winning the battle royal, apparently it's at like 20,000 dislikes now. So apparently, a lot of people didn't like the fact that they went with this decision.
I mean, I think again, I would love a Jey Uso heel turn because I feel like it's needed. I feel like he needs something different. He needs something that he can take him to another level. I know CM Punk's going to continue to be chasing that title. And I know Seth Rollins was probably his dance partner that isn't there right now. It's going to be interesting to see what they go with this.
Punk deserves a legitimate shot at the title. I think he's had the most false starts of anybody all year long, aside from Drew McIntyre. I think they both need a W in the worst way.
See, and I don't know what it is about Punk, but I'm actually at the point with CM Punk right now where I kind of want him to win the Rumble and win the title at WrestleMania. Kind of take that route towards it. Like I said, him winning the title and basically feuding with Seth Rollins since he came back. I know they were going towards that CM Punk versus Rollins title match where finally Punk was going to overcome. But like I said, I kind of want to see like if Punk to just keep chasing, like win the Rumble and then finally conquer at WrestleMania. Just at this point, just keep chasing because he's great in that role. Because the fans love CM Punk. So
yeah, I feel like that's a better story, and that's why I'm trying to figure out where the Vision play in this as well. But it's like if Jey Uso does win the title, where does that leave CM Punk? Is he going to keep going after this? Is he going to keep getting entangled with this Roman Reigns angle, and then maybe we get a triple threat? And maybe that's how you continue to keep Jey Uso hot for a little while, but I don't know. We don't even know how long Seth Rollins is out for, do we?
No.
Well, you let Ryan tell it. You know, he's not out at all. He's gonna take his arm out of the sling one day, and then he's gonna be fine.
As I said, we need the doctor, we need the X-rays, we need a third party to investigate this injury because we don't want to get fooled.
He's just gonna be like.
He's just gonna pop it off.
I mean, Chad Gable and what's his name? Dirty Dom came in with doctor's notes, so you can have a doctor's note saying you can't wrestle. Apparently, back in my day, I wrestled hurt. So.
we need to see the notes. We need to see the X-rays. We need to see the details of his injury because I don't believe it until we see that. But we got Jey Uso.
Speaking of Chad Gable, since you just mentioned him, Sonny, we kind of need him back right now. That way we can actually free up Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate and Ludwig Kaiser from this Americano nonsense once and for all. Like we need Chad Gable back right now.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we definitely do. Let's keep moving on here to a bit of business. We got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee becoming the new tag champs in a great match against the Judgment Day. What did you guys think about? What did you guys think about that?
Just totally off the hook, unexpected in the way, and I thought the whole show was phenomenal based on the number of title changes during the show. You almost never see that anymore these days, and they have really applied themselves at Raw to making an undeniable product. So each show just gets better and better.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely was a somewhat of a surprise. Like I think they talked about on commentary that the Judgment Day haven't defended that was only their second title defense. And like they said it was since July. That was the month that they gave. Like so,
is it either July or
it's like damn, July. Damn, that's past the 30 days. Why weren't they stripped of the titles? Like, what the hell?
And there you have it. That's a 30-day clause.
You wanna know what happens? These GMs, these GMs don't have any pride. These GMs don't have any pride. That's what it is.
They just start enforcing that. Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
The worst I've ever seen was Dean Ambrose as the United States champion.
The United States champion when he was in the Shield. That literally was Vince just putting that on them and putting the tag team titles on them just to make them more intimidating, and then never taking it off because the Shield was going to be on top for a while.
But yeah, I thought it was a great match. AJ Styles getting another title, Dragon Lee getting the shine as well.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good look for him. I think this is just leading to Braun and Bronson Reed getting a tag team title shot at some point. I feel like that would be the right way to go about it because I don't see what other tag team. You got the Viking Raiders, the Creed brothers haven't been around. The New Day have kind of been out of the loop, even with Grayson Waller. So it's like I really don't know what's happening there.
I get the impression that the New Day may be going a little bit south, and that Dominic Mysterio's group may be starting to break up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I feel that impression now week to week that they're not really getting along the way they had been getting along previously.
Yep.
I did notice with Judgment Day that Liv's photo was back in the
clubhouse.
Although was back in the background, and Roxanne started flirting with Dom again. So Liv is coming back very soon.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Thank God. Yeah. So now we're gonna see the breakup finally. It's coming.
Hopefully.
Years in the making.
Too many years.
Let's get into some other Raw notes before we get out of here. We have Maxine Dupree losing to actually winning the match over Becky Lynch via disqualification. What did you guys make about that? And I think Maxine's getting better. She's been throwing some training videos of her working in the dungeon and stuff like that, the Heart Dungeon. So kudos for her.
She's definitely up and coming, and if she keeps with this pace, she's definitely going to be a contender at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think the back of the head with the title was a slow blow, and I think that's how the fans took it based on their reaction. I think everybody was mad at that.
They're actually building sympathy for her, and it's working.
I can remember I can remember months ago when that video went viral of her on a house show or something, where the fans were like being brutal to her, and the question was being asked, like, all the fans being too rough on her, and everybody was just saying, "Nah, just get better in the ring, and then we won't be as critical." But now we've seen that improvement now, where she was in her hometown. Granted, she got the hometown pop. The match that she had with Becky a couple weeks prior was good, and now she's getting better week after week, month after month. And I'm happy for her. And she is a great sympathetic character. Yeah, she's very easy to get behind, but at this point, especially being in the Alpha Academy with Otis and Tozawa, so definitely having those two guys beside you kind of makes you more sympathetic as a character. So
yeah,
and it's funny. It's funny how Otis has been out for a while, and then boom, he's just back on TV, and they don't even acknowledge it at all.
Because he came back in AAA during that Battle Royal and stuff like that.
He's been off Raw TV for months though.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's like, maybe they can get back in the tag team title picture. But with Maxine Dupree, I'm just happy that she's finally showing improvement. She's been on the main roster for a while, so it's like finally she's getting that repping. And if Becky Lynch is her foil at this point in time, so be it. I'm fine with that. We'll see what happens with that. We had Stephanie Vaquer taking on Roxanne Perez, getting the win over Roxanne Perez in that matchup. What do you guys make of this Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella friendship? Let me say this before I go. I need WWE to come up with better storylines for women than they're just friends. I desperately.
Everybody's just friends.
Why do I feel like you've been saying that since we started this show?
Because it's true.
You've been saying that for a minute.
Every single storyline they have for the women, as great as they are in ring, as much as they have proved, the best storyline they give us every single time, they are friends. Oh, they've been talking backstage. Yada yada yada. I guess Total Divas doesn't exist anymore, so they can't show us all that. But
I got you flash. Nia Jax is on the way back, so maybe she'll shake things up in the women's division.
Are they gonna say she's a friend too? Like, I don't know. What are they like? I'm tired. I'm just tired of this thing where
You know what I found funny about all that? When Nikki told Stephanie that I wish I had somebody that had my back when I was champion. Also, your sister. So what was your sister doing the entire time?
And
Who she betrayed? Who she betrayed?
Who she did betray?
Do we think this is just heading towards Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella at some point?
Yes.
I really hope not. But if we do get that match, we just have Nikki just be a heel again. Like,
it's gonna. I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And again, Meltzer said that the triple threat with Tiffany, Nia, and Jay was the worst match of the year. But in actuality, it was Nikki Bella's match with Becky Lynch that was the worst match of the year. So, do we really want to see Nikki Bella in another match? Now Stephanie Vaquer will make up better for her flaws than Becky Lynch did. But still,
I got a question for everybody. Who here has been impressed with Tiffany Stratton since her title win, and what are your all's thoughts about her? I think she's phenomenal.
We've talked about Tiffany a couple of times, man. I felt that like since the program with Charlotte, that her stock has definitely dropped somewhat. I mean, especially only as a character. Because again, with her, we still when she's not feuding with Nia, who is Tiffany Stratton? Like, honestly, as a character. When she's shooting with Nia, she's a clear babyface. When she's shooting with everybody else, I
didn't think she'd hold it this long, to be perfectly honest.
Me either.
She's already getting stats and everything now. Like, 100-something days, and I'm like, oh, great.
I thought she would have lost it. I think that's a disservice WWE has done to the women's division on SmackDown. They really haven't. I guess because Bianca Belair's out. And they really haven't figured out a way to what they want to do.
For so long, and just a finger injury.
I think she's gotten a break because she's been on since like WrestleMania 37.
Yeah,
I think that's why. Like, I think
I think when was the press conference when they announced that WrestleMania was in Saudi Arabia? Was that like last month?
Yeah,
because during that time, I think she had an interview during that time where she said that like her finger was still healing to the point where she wasn't even wearing her wedding ring. Like her wedding ring was on her other hand. Like so that may have been like a month or so ago. So I still think that she's they're just waiting for the right time. And if that's the case, shit, bring her back now.
It's long overdue. But I think Tiffany's been good in ring. It's the character work and the storytelling that needs to be better in my eyes. But in ring, flawless. The match that she had with Stephanie Vacquier was awesome. I thought it was a great match between those two. Where they go from here, that's what I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do with her, because it's like there needs to be a change, at least a rivalry with somebody outside of Nia Jax, Jade Cargill, or at least have Jade Cargill at least put up a valiant effort and try to win the title again. Something.
Get Chelsea Green back in the picture, please.
Don't get me started on Chelsea Green. There's not enough time for this show for me to talk about my disappointment.
Now you look at the Women's United States Championship now, and you're just like, yo, Chelsea Green was the greatest thing that could have happened.
Yep. Get that thing off Julia right now.
I'm not going to try to be loud, but she should have never lost the title.
No.
I'm going to say that again for the 100th time, but Chelsea Green should still be United States champion. That's just my opinion. She did share on Twitter. They said Julia had, I think, 100 days as champion or something like that.
Terrible.
And then she shared the picture and she was kind of upset. I'm like, that's because she should still be champion.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. Did we get into Dominic Mysterio retaining his title over Rusev? I thought that was a good touch. Dominic Mysterio doing it week to week.
Bro, he really is another Eddie Guerrero, bro. Like literally, this live cheating, and the crowd is eating it up too. Like that's the crazy thing about it.
You want to know why? I think it's working.
It's definitely Eddie 2.0 because he's trying all the tricks and it's not working, but it is working.
Yeah.
I made a comment recently that he had only been there for 4 years, and in the 4 years he had been there, he had really done phenomenal work in the ring and coming into his own. And I think that's going to be the breakup of his little company. He's outgrown the little company. He doesn't need Liv Morgan. He doesn't need Judgment Day. He can stand by himself. And maybe a different tag team partner or something like that. But he week after week, he takes it to whoever comes. I mean, he may cheat, but that's the way it's gone with the Hills for the longest time. The idea of him just being in the position he's in 4 short years is impressive.
I think the reason why it's working because it does remind us of Eddie, but nobody else is doing it in the company. Nobody's cheating like him. No one's doing this thing. And I think that's what made Eddie Guerrero special too, because it was like, yeah, he's cheating, but it's like no one else is doing this in creative ways, in sneaky ways. Like there's a comedy, there's a way you want to see it happen. Like there's all the elements of this is working for him. And I hope it continues. I hope it continues. He's been great. Trying to think of anything else that happened on Raw. I think that's it. I think we covered about everything, guys. That was great. Thank you guys for joining us again. Sonny, as always, thank you for coming on and powwowing with us over the world of wrestling. That will do it for this episode 126. We'll continue to see what happens with the Death Riders. We'll continue to see what happens with the world title pictures on Raw and SmackDown. And we'll get more developments with that as the weeks go on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And always kick it on too, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time.